Hello, brave, beautiful, beloved, brilliant soul friends. Kristen Windsor here. I am creating some content for my Restoring Consciousness Toolkit number 2. It's taking healing to a whole nother level of magic. And I just wanted to share a little bit about subconscious parts. Subconscious parts are miraculous. They are the aspects of our consciousness, which is the real person that we are, the person who's having the experience inside of our neurophysiology. So our subconscious parts are these miraculous aspects of our consciousness beyond our direct and immediate awareness who are having the life experience. Most of the other stuff going on are aspects of experience, and they're really important. They're very important. But no one and nothing is more important than our subconscious parts, because that's the aspects of our consciousness having the experience. It's the person inside of the body, okay? And when we heal neurophysiology or we try to heal ourselves through our mind, we're not getting to the full story. Our mind only has access to 5% of what's happening, and our neurophysiology is all unconscious stuff. But when we work with our parts, when we heal our consciousness, we heal our mind, we heal our neurophysiology, and we restore, liberate, and transform our consciousness from the inside out. And that's where the real change happens. And so no matter what the life particulars are, if it's a relational battle, if it's feeling unworthy, if it's feeling lonely, if it's feeling anxious or depressed, any type of personal battle can be resolved, not just touched on and coped with, but resolved fully, deeply, and completely when consciousness is directly worked with within the healing journey. And so, according to my miraculous inner being diagram of consciousness that I've created, after thousands of hours of self-hypnosis and years of research, I developed this thing, and then I went out into the world and furthered my research and kind of fine-tuned it all. So I have this diagram that explains and explores and empowers human consciousness from the inside out, which is what my Restoring Consciousness Toolkit is all about. In case you're interested, you can explore my website below. There's a lot of info about what it includes, so you know exactly the magic that you're investing in. And so this diagram of consciousness, we have 4 types of parts. We have infinite amounts of subconscious parts. We have 4 types. And so getting to know our parts is really important because they're magic. They're pure magic. Our parts of consciousness are deep, indescribable magic. Deep, indescribable magic. And so when Moppet parts are hurting, there will be a sense of unworthiness. There will be a sense of loneliness. There will be a sense of sorrow. When Moppet parts are healed, there is a full embodiment of love, peace, and joy. A full embodiment of love and joy. I'm talking, you feel love and joy inside of every cell of your body in every moment of every day. That's who Moppets are once they're healed. Nightingale parts of consciousness, when they're hurting, they will give love to everybody else. And it will be from a space of that person is more worthy than I am, and I want to help them know it. And there's nothing wrong with giving people love, but that's not what nightingales are actually designed to do. Nightingale parts, when they're healed, pour love inside of the self. From there, love naturally overflows to other people, rather than coming from a space of lack, where the love's being generated for others, rather than generated for self and then overflowing into others. So when nightingale parts are healed, they naturally pour love into the being. You feel a sense of self-appreciation. You feel a sense of worthiness. You feel a sense of enoughness inside of you. For example, if you create a piece of art, instead of dismissing it or hoping that someone else compliments it, you look at it and you're just like, wow! I am so brilliant. I am so creative. The way I express myself is marvelous. And you just feel a deep sense of appreciation for yourself. Not in an egoic, I'm great, but in a really genuine, loving way of, I appreciate who I am. you feel a sense of love inside of your body. You feel a sense of appreciation inside of your body. It's not in the mind. It's not a thought you're thinking. It's something you tangibly feel inside of your gut, inside of the way your muscles tense and relax. You feel it inside of your body. When nightingale parts are healed, they naturally, flowers, they naturally pour love inside of the self. And then love for others just comes really naturally. And it's never taxing, it's never draining. Because the love isn't being generated for others, it's being naturally generated internally. And what's given to others is overflow. And so it never drains you to be around people or to love people. When normal parts are hurting, there will be a lot of comparisons. When normal parts are hurting, there will be a lot of stories and judgments and conclusions, looking at what other people are doing and making conclusions about the other people and or the self. Oh, it's starting to rain again. What a day for filming. And so when, can I put it up here? Oh, then I'm so tall. I'm filming at my neighbors. I'm so grateful. Okay, so normal parts. When normal parts of consciousness are hurting, there will be a lot of comparisons. There will be a lot of comparisons about all the external stuff, like, or not just comparisons, but like judgments too. Like, oh, well, I'm not making a lot of money, so my business must not be worth it. Or, oh, that person looks really happy, you know, maybe they have life all figured out. Or anything that's a judgment, comparison, or conclusion based on external observation. And so there will be a general sense of dissatisfaction where things are just never quite enough. And there will be a sense of like a difficulty with embracing authenticity. Like, my life needs to look like other people's life to be okay. I need to look like other people for me, who I am, to be okay. I need XYZ to be externally achieved before I can feel like I'm enough. Those kinds of things. And that's a tough place to be, because if it's always focused on the physicality and not enoughness, there's not a natural sense of self-celebration or space for authenticity or feeling like you're unconditionally important. But when normal parts are healed, there's observation, objective observation without conclusions. And this is a superpower, and I talk about that in one of my other videos. The superpowers of subconscious parts is to be able to notice anything in life without formulating a story is really a superpower, because then you can appreciate everyone exactly as they are, especially yourself. No matter what your life looks like, no matter what your bank account looks like, your job looks like, your living situation looks like, your health looks like, your relationships look like, no matter what your bedroom looks like, if it's clean or dirty, none of this stuff matters, because that's not where worth is found. And there's no stories, there's no judgments, there's no comparisons. And so everyone has space to be who they are, starting with the self. And so what other people are doing is great for them, but it has no relevance to me. And that's a superpower. And I've experienced both sides of this. It's not fun when normal parts are hurting. It's hard to appreciate who you are, where you are, because it feels like your life is supposed to look like what other people's lives look like. But you're not other people. And when normal parts can be liberated, there's just this generous space for everyone to be who and where they are, starting with the self. And it feels really good to have so much compassion for who and where you are. And guardian parts of consciousness. When guardian parts are hurting, there will be a sense of defensiveness, and there will be this emotional distancing, and there will be this space of rigidity and rules, and I need to do this, and this, and maybe then I won't get hurt. Maybe then I'll feel safe. And there's just this general feeling of unsafety. There's a general feeling of unsafety. It's not safe to be connected with other people. It's not safe to be connected with myself. It's not safe to express who I am in the world. It's not safe to feel emotions. It's not safe to dream big. It's not safe to relax. It's not safe to enjoy. It's not safe to, etc. But when guardian parts are healed, they protect the safe haven of the heart, the lightness of the spirit. And so instead of being afraid of the lightness of the spirit, they protect it, they guard it. They say, I ain't letting anybody touch the lightness that I am. I ain't letting any energy jeopardize my happiness. I ain't letting anything block me from everything I know I'm worthy of, because I matter in this world and I get to chase my dreams. Instead of guardian parts being afraid of the lightness of spirit, they protect it once they're healed. And then, instead of being reactive, they create space to just be. And there's so much more power in that. There's a lot more power when we can let go of the reactivity. Reactivity feeds neural pathways of pain, increases dysregulation, does all kinds of things that are not good for our health or happiness. But and that's guardian parts trying to protect us the best way that they know how. But once we help them heal and liberate them into the fullness of all that they are, then they know that they have an even more important job. That their job is to protect the love of the heart space. To not let anything jeopardize the well-being of the soul, of the consciousness. They don't let anything jeopardize your dreams or your lightness or your happiness or your space of enjoyment. And so we have 4 kinds of subconscious parts, according to my own miraculous inner being diagram of consciousness that I've created from scratch and have used it to heal myself completely. Explore more about that. You can check out some of my other videos. I've had quite a journey. It's been quite a journey. And so we got 4 kinds of subconscious parts, and there are clues of consciousness. When we recognize the clues, we can recognize what's happening in the part of ourselves beyond our direct and immediate awareness. And when we address that part of our consciousness to heal, everything in life can change for the better. You can love who you are. You can appreciate who you are. You can have compassion and grace for who you are. You can have compassion and grace. Hi, kitty. Hi, baby. Hi, baby girl. Hello. Hi, Miss Annabelle. You can have compassion and grace for who and where you are. You can celebrate yourself. You can celebrate every step of the journey, not just the destination you're trying to get to, but the actual journey itself. There's so much power in healing consciousness. You will always feel enough. You will always feel worthy. You will always feel safe. You will always feel confident. You will always feel peaceful. You will always feel love and joy. You will always feel inspired. You will always feel passionate. All the positive implicit energies that people generally desire to experience can be possible on a very regular basis when consciousness heals. And this is an unconditional power, because these emotions, these sensations, this experience of consciousness comes from inside. You're not dependent on feeling loved, depending on what's going on around you. Your ability to feel inspired is not dependent on external specifics. Your ability to feel love or loved is not dependent on external specifics. Your ability to feel confident is not dependent on external specifics. Your ability to respect who you are and relax in your being and create space for enjoyment and all of these things, it comes from inside of your consciousness, so it's not dependent on anything outside of you. No person, no thing, no circumstance can ever have power over you again. Even your own memories and past experiences will no longer have power over you once you liberate, heal, and transform your parts of consciousness. That's how the healing journey works. Isn't that amazing? There's so much hope in it. And when this is the reality, the healing journey becomes so much more worth investing in. I had no idea the depths of healing that was possible. I spent over 10 years in the mental health care system and wound up in a place of the greatest darkness and despair, mentally, physically, spiritually, in every capacity possible. The absolute worst place to be. And in just 2 years, I'm here. 2 years. Just 2 years, because I worked directly with consciousness and I let go of the standardized help that is being offered. And that's great if that route of healing works for you. I've just seen the lack of it because they're looking from the outside in. And that doesn't get to the root of the problem. That doesn't get to the root of what needs healing. I explore consciousness from the inside out, and it makes a huge difference in the way the healing journey of life unfolds. Over a decade of suffering miserably, excruciating pain, horrific battles, searching high and low for any help, insight, hope, or answers. No one could explain to me why I was experiencing what I was going through, and no one could offer actual help or hope. Nobody. Over 100 doctors were like, I've used all my tricks in the book, man. Sorry. And I was in my early 20s thinking this is the end of my life. This is it. It's over. I've lost the battle. But I refused to give up, and I quit that. I researched neurohealth. I dove deep into regular self-hypnosis. By now, I've done literally thousands of hours of self-hypnosis in the past 2.5 years. I explored my neural pathways from the inside out. I learned how the brain works from the inside out and its effect on the body and consciousness. And from that space of knowing, I've developed my own healing modalities. And I'm so excited to keep sharing with you, soul friends. So if you're looking for some healing journey resources, I would be honored to connect with you through a consciousness consulting call. We get together and share sacred healing space, and I walk with you through your healing journey to explore what's happening from the inside out. What are you experiencing within yourself? And then I help you interpret those clues of consciousness so that you can understand what you're going through because of what's happening inside. And from this space of renewed self-understanding and compassionate space of being and just acceptance of where you are, because you're allowed to be where you are. You're always allowed to be where you are. Where you are is not who you are. From this space, we forge forward, and I help you create a tangible plan of action. I gift you ideas and we discuss them until we find something that works for you. And then you have something that you can do every single day to reclaim your power, cultivate deeper self-love, and transform your neurophysiology so that your consciousness can be liberated, healed, transformed, empowered, and uplifted into the fullness of all that you truly are. And if you're looking for healing journey resources, I also create things so that you can embrace the healing journey on your own in new, deep, dynamic ways with some of the knowledge that I've gained on my healing journey. I have my Restoring Consciousness Toolkit where I explain, explore, and empower human consciousness from the inside out. I explain your entire consciousness and neurophysiology using brand new language that I've developed through all of my research, internally and externally alike. And then I walk you through how to work with your parts, step-by-step instructions and flowcharts to easily recognize your clues of consciousness. I'm having this thought, I'm having this feeling. That's this part of consciousness. They're hurting because of this. I can respond in this way, and then they'll start to be healed. Flowcharts, and then a guide, a step-by-step instructions for how to connect with your parts so that you can help them truly, deeply, and completely heal from the inside out of your miraculous consciousness. And that's not all. I go further and help you explore how you can reclaim your power. What is power? How do you have it? How do you harness it? How do you use it? It's a beautiful day to believe in healing magic, friends. It's a beautiful day to believe in healing magic. And then I give you some more tools. There's a bunch of stuff, so you can check out my website. There's an article, and it goes into great detail so that you know exactly the magic you're investing in. And then I also have my Healing into Happiness playbook, and this is another healing journey game changer. You can completely rewire your neurophysiology, heal, uplift, and empower yourself through the great expanse of your own playful love through very simple, easy to do, harness them anytime, any day, healing journey activities or play prompts. Healing into Happiness playbook is like a workbook, but a whole lot more fun. And there's 95 different prompts in them, combined with dozens of play sheets, because worksheets are not fun. And this process provides over 3 years of transformative healing that you can continue with. The play prompts are designed to be easy, tangible, accessible, easy to do, easy to follow, easy to use. You can do them in your home, while you're walking, while you're eating. while you're laying in bed, while you're on a hike. They're designed to be playful. They're designed to have an element of fun and love and compassion and tenderheartedness and lightheartedness. And they're designed to be transformative. They're designed from a basis of understanding neuroscience and the inside out of human consciousness, so that while you're doing these things and having fun in this easy process, the unconsciousness within you is experiencing deep healing transformation that actually rewires your neurophysiology. It's truly, deeply, dynamically brilliant, and I'm so excited to share. When I'm having an off day, I go back to the book and I practice some of them, and I just feel more like myself again. I feel the lightness of my spirit. I feel the hope of my life. I feel the abundance of all that is. Experience comes from inside of our consciousness, and so it actually helps you practice presence with your consciousness in a way that feels good. It's meditation, but without just sitting and closing your eyes. Meditation is just actively, intentionally, fully practicing presence with your own consciousness. And there's an infinite amount of ways to do that. And so there's 95 different play prompts in this, including new ways to meditate that do not involve sitting in closed eye meditation. And there's play sheets, so you can have all sorts of tools to use these play prompts in ways to transform your life from the inside out. So please feel free to explore my website. You can email me anytime to explore any of my offerings. If you have questions about my products or services, or if you'd like to order any of my products or book my services, you can email me at artistryofexistence@gmail.com. I would be honored to connect with you along your healing journey of life. I also create content for Patreon, I have merchandise on Teespring, and of course I create free content here for YouTube. So please feel free to check out all my many magics. There's lots of awesome links below. Please do feel free to explore that. And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and just click on the little like button on this video, hit the subscribe. I really appreciate your support here. I am so grateful for the chance to share this healing message with the world. There is so much more than what meets the eye happening within us, and when we can know this, we can expand into the greatness of all that we are, and there's infinite hope for healing. And healing isn't about healing from something. It's not about what we're trying to change or escape. It's about what we're healing into, what we want to experience more of, who we want to be, how we want to experience life through our miraculous consciousness. I invite you into this healing journey of life. We're all on a healing journey of life, and when we can be mindful and intentional with that path that we walk, there's infinite power that awaits us. So friends, thank you so much for joining this Conversations with Kristen. I'm grateful for you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time.